Hello and welcome to Scooped, the ice cream review podcast where we try all the cone creations, signature slushes, and frozen foods on the East Coast to give you the ultimate scoop. My name is Holly Hagman and with me is my co-host, husband, and ice cream connoisseur, Paul Percivali. Paul, did you hear about the guy who regretted getting ice cream?
I did not.
He had Breyers remorse.
I always have Breyers remorse.
Yeah, because Breyers is ass ice cream.
They're not that bad.
They're not good. Okay, first of all, we're already going to go on a tangent because Breyers is like not ice cream. If you look if you look at their marketing, it says like frozen dairy dessert or something on the packaging. I got to look it up.
But it's still ice cream.
It's not ice cream if it says frozen dessert. It's like a knockoff ice cream.
You see that white stuff with the ball shape in that's I'm pretty sure that's ice cream scoop, honey.
Listen to me. I don't trust it. It's not good ice cream. And either way, this was supposed to be a pun. So I don't know. It took a turn. But anywho, yes, the guy who bought ice cream had Breyers remorse.
The only thing I'm going to say is that they have a very aesthetically pleasing container.
That's true.
All right.
Moving on. I agree with you there.
Let's move on.
Fine. Okay.
Unless you want to fight about this more, I'll fight.
Listen. Take off or put on the boxing gloves because we're going to brawl.
You can't tell audience members, but I'm duking my fists right now.
We'll insert one of those, like, bell sound effects or something.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on now.
In our last episode, we reviewed Friendly's Family Restaurant and Ice Cream, which we placed at the S tier level, which it definitely deserved. It's still probably one of the best experiences we've had on this mess of a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that it's a mess, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But for this episode, we are reviewing a kitchen and creamery famous for artisan ice cream and well-crafted food. This place is called Gabriel's Fountain.
Yes, definitely one that I've never heard of before this.
Well, it's not exactly nearby to where we live. It's in Martinsville, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
Which, compared to our locale near the shore, that's way up in farm country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a hike for us. We were up there for a different reason. And we'll get to that in a future episode. Because, as it turns out, there was ice cream at the other event we went to in this area. But that's a whole other episode, and we'll talk about that later. But for Gabriel's Fountain, we had planned to go there because we knew it was nearby this other event we were going to. And, so let's learn, I guess, about Gabriel's Fountain.
Okay.
Even though I don't think there was a fountain anywhere near. I did not see one.
Nope, I didn't see one either.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, let's learn about their history.
All right. So, history via their website. Back in 1954, that's a good year. Back in 1954, failed investor and entrepreneur Gabriel Versace was en route to meet with a potential investor in Basking Ridge with hopes that his concept cornball fryer would be sold in department stores all across the Northeast. As the road was blocked off from falling boulders from a blast gone wrong at Chimney Rock Quarry, old Gabe took it upon himself to take some back trails to make it up the mountain. That is where he crashed his 1941 International Harvester truck a few hundred feet from Washington Valley Road, and it had been abandoned there ever since. This is a story.
This is a story.
Missing his appointment with his investor, he stumbled upon an abandoned creamery that he squatted in for one night. Finding some overly fermented curds and whey, old Gay took one swig that knocked him out into La La Land. What is this story?
What is he, Little Miss Muffet with the Curzon Way? I can't. Finish reading it and then we'll have a conversation.
He dreamed a dream of dancing ice cream cones and burgers within the Victorian castle. Upon waking, he heard a still voice say to him, "If you build it, they will come." Okay.
Whoever wrote this was like...
Hi.
doing something. I don't know.
6 months later, Gabriel hosted the grand opening of Gabriel's Fountain Kitchen and Creamery, providing a community hub for friends and family to meet up for well-crafted food and homemade artisan ice cream. Over 60 years later, we find ourselves here still carrying out old Gabe's vision and dream, while his old rust bucket of a truck still sits out back. Oh yeah, it did, didn't it?
Did it?
I thought I saw, that rusted old truck. You didn't see it in the back?
I think the truck is the only part of this that's true.
I pointed it out. It looked like a rusted up piece of junk.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And there were people taking pictures with it.
Oh, you know what? That would have made sense. But I think the truck, again, is the only part of this that's accurate. Because if you scroll on the notes here, and we're going to talk about this little blurb is the history from their website. It's a faux history of the restaurant. It is written to be as ridiculous as it sounded. Okay, dancing ice cream cones and Curzon Way and all of that, right?
If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come, falling boulders, etc., right?
I would hope that that's not real.
It's not. So the actual history from the website was, I found it on Yelp in their business account, actually. So, this is their actual history. Not the weird thing that we just read, but here we go. Welcome to Gabriel's Fountain Restaurant, proudly serving Martinsville since 2000, not 1954.
Okay.
We offer fine American cuisine and legendary homemade ice cream in a cozy, family-friendly atmosphere. We invite you to relax and treat yourself to one of the best tasting lunches or dinners you'll ever have and sample our legendary homemade ice cream. Legendary. Used twice. Just so you're aware.
So... yeah, okay. I was about to make a Barney Stinson thing, but the joke didn't process in my brain, and then I blue screened, and now I'm just jabbering on.
Yeah, it happens like that. Open all year round, we serve homemade ice cream, dessert, coffee, and American food for the entire family. Sit outside on the patio or under an umbrella, upstairs with that special person at a table for two, or maybe even gather in our quaint garden sunroom.
It is a nice sunroom.
Which I was going to say, I think that's where we sat.
Yeah, that's where we sat.
Which was really nice. Family owned and operated, we pride ourselves on providing a relaxing, friendly atmosphere that is great for the whole family. Gabriel's Fountain Restaurant is a great place to have your company gathering, birthday party, bridal, or baby shower. We also offer catering on and off premises and would love to help you with your next event or party. We look forward to serving you soon. God bless.
Can you imagine having, a business luncheon at the ice cream store?
Dude,
in the sunroom?
I would love it.
That would actually be hilarious to see a bunch of stuffed suits just hanging out over there looking ice cream.
With their cones, and it would be hysterical.
Yes.
But this place does have actual food. It is a restaurant with... burgers and sandwiches and wings.
I wish we got a chance to actually, try some of that.
Me too.
If we weren't, stuffed out of our minds.
Full. We were so full. It was a whole thing. But anyway, continuing with more details about Gabriel's Fountain and their history. Gabriel's Fountain Restaurant was a dream for the Montesano family for many years. Living and working in Martinsville for almost 38 years, founders Al and Marilyn Montesano watched the local ice cream shop open each year in the spring and close in the fall, always wishing it was open all year. First, it was the Martinsville Dairy Bar, and later the Country Carnival. They started dreaming about how nice it would be to own their own ice cream shop. Eventually, that dream became a reality. The shop was named after the angel Gabriel, who brought the good news to the world and is now a cozy American restaurant open all year round.
I have a feeling that the owners of this place are highly religious.
Gee, you think?
Just maybe.
I think that the fountain must be a religious image also.
You think?
I'm thinking because we didn't see an actual fountain.
So you're gonna Google it to see if Gabriel's fountain. Nope. That's just the restaurant.
Do you have a fountain in the Bible? Let's find out.
I'm not sure. Gabriel was an angel, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For some reason, I can't really foresee an angel in the Bible, like owning a fountain.
Gabriel is the angel that told Mary she would conceive and bear God's son.
Oh.
So, yeah, they're a little bit religious, it seems.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, there were a lot of churches in the area, so that doesn't really surprise me.
That's true. It must be like a particularly Christian area of the state. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, there is so the owners are not named Gabriel. It has to do with the angel from the Bible. The original founders were Al and Marilyn Montesano, and then they passed it on to more people in the family. We're going to learn about him right now, so you have that section.
Okay. Meet the business owner, Alex A. Alex is the second-generation owner of this family-owned and operated business. His philosophy is to create a memorable experience for each customer who walks through the doors by providing exceptional service to his loyal customers. Alex takes pride in everything he does and always wants to exceed your expectations. Beyond that, he seeks to build a business that gives back to the community which supports it. Alex is grateful for the wonderful Martinsville community and looks forward to serving you soon.
That's nice, Alex.
Yes, it is.
So, do you suppose that... What did you think about the community that we drove through?
The houses were kind of extravagant.
A little bit.
Is what I thought. I mean, at least half of them were.
It seemed like a very expensive place to be.
Yes, it looked quite expensive.
But also very, the word they keep using in the writing is cozy, and I feel like that accurately describes the area.
You think?
I do. It felt like even though the residential parts, the homes were pretty large, I feel like the town itself was kind of quaint.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, I don't know, it just felt like a little, like I said, it reminded me of when we were in Stowe, Vermont.
Yeah, I could see that.
And...
I mean, Stowe was... I'd say Stowe was prettier.
Well, yeah.
Stowe was like the prettiest place we've ever gone to, this was pretty nice.
They literally make postcards with Stowe, Vermont on it.
Yes.
But anywho... So now that we've gotten the history, let's go through the Q&A. This is from their website about, frequently asked questions that people have for Gabriel's ice cream and, stuff about their ice cream. So this will give us more information directly from them.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question that people, I guess, tend to ask is, why choose Gabe's ice cream? And their answer is, we know there are lots of local shops nowadays, and most of them claim homemade ice cream. Gabe's uses quality source ingredients and local when available. We use only natural flavorings, most of which are made from scratch, real fresh fruit, herbs, nuts, vanilla, caramel, most of our mix-ins and even coloring from natural sources, such as plants, flowers, fruit, or we don't color it at all. Our main ingredient is pure love.
Pure love.
Yes. So basically, they're saying that a lot of places, I guess, say they're going to make homemade ice cream, but then use a lot of pre-made stuff.
I could think of a couple.
Mm-hmm. They don't do that.
Oh,
is what their shtick is. They say we're making homemade ice cream, and then they use all of the actual ingredients to make, the vanilla, blah, 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 whatever flavors.
You know why I could probably see that?
Why?
It's because this place is also like 50% restaurant.
True. So they have stuff.
They have the means to actually like be doing all that stuff like on the premise.
Like with my flavor that we'll get to later.
Right. Like your very strange flavor.
Oh.
That you liked quite a bit.
I did.
And that I couldn't have because of reasons.
Yep. We'll get there. But the next question on the list
is your ice cream gluten-free? And then answer, yes. Our sweet cream base, Philly or French style, is naturally gluten-free. However, it depends on the flavor and the mix-ins. So check out our flavor page for your dietary restrictions, or our staff can steer you in the right direction in-house.
And just a quick side note before we continue on the Q&A. I thought that the inclusion of the paper flavor page when you get in line was such a nice touch at this place.
I mean, this place definitely goes through a lot of paper, I'm sure, because of that. But it is really nice. Like, it looks, I don't know if quaint is the right word for it.
That might be. It's very like, they seemed very prepared.
Yes.
You know, they have a lot of options. They know they have a lot of options.
And they seem to care very much about their presentation. Yes.
They're like, here's the thing. This is what we have today. And we have a picture of this menu that we got. And we'll include it because the seasonal things and what they have on hand might change day to day. So they don't always have the same menu. So that's why they have the paper ones.
Uh-huh. So the paper one, you believe, is more updated than the stuff that's on the board behind them?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think the paper thing is what you should go by, or like what you literally see in front of you on the signs.
Mm-hmm. Did you take one? Like, do we still have one?
It's around here somewhere.
Okay. Then I probably know what pile that we put it in.
But yeah, it was really nice. And it says they have like a key on their menu about back to this idea of being gluten-free. They have little symbols for like gluten-free, vegan,
it was very
spicy, with nuts, without nuts, that kind of stuff.
They displayed it very well, like so that you could see everything at a pretty easy glance.
Yeah, and they're very like, we'll talk about it in the next question actually, so I will just keep going. The next question, and they're frequently asked questions, is do you have dairy-free options? And the answer is
a lot.
Yes. We make multiple dairy-free options from scratch, and they are vegan to boot. Gabe's dairy-free is natural, fresh, fruit-based, or coconut milk-based, so nut-free diets are welcome as well. So, yes, before we keep going on this, a lot of places will be like, we have dairy-free flavors, and they'll have like 3 tops to pick from.
And they're usually the most plain flavors that you could probably find, like vanilla and coconut, and then strawberry, and then that's it.
Pretty much. This place had, I think I counted, 7 or 8 different vegan ice creams to pick from. And they weren't like chocolate, vanilla, raspberry. Like it.
At least one of mine was, right?
What do you mean?
I think I chose one of those vegan ones.
You took, both of yours were vegan.
Oh, never mind then.
Mm-hmm. Both of the ones you picked were vegan. I wrote it down. But they had like a lot of different ones. They had like, and we'll talk about them when we get to the menu portion of this, but they had like fun vegan flavors. So if you are vegan or dairy-free or lactose intolerant or any mixture of the 3, you can go to this place and there is something for you that you would probably enjoy.
Yes, and another thing about the flavors that I had that were vegan, they didn't seem like that they made up for the fact that they were vegan by like shoveling tons of sugar into like the mix. Like it was still very tasty on its own, even though it was vegan.
And I think the fact that the base is coconut milk, like keeps it pretty creamy.
Yes.
And sweet. So you don't need to overcompensate.
Right, adding more sugar. Yes.
With the sugar. It's very smart. With that. They're doing vegan ice cream correctly at this place.
Yes, very much so. Moving on. Does your ice cream contain eggs or yolks? Yes and no. Most of our ice cream is Philly style, egg yolk free. So, that will depend on the mix-ins in the specific flavor. However, depending on the flavor you want to make, an egg yolk custard base or French style may be warranted. If you have a preference or allergy, let us know before ordering.
I like that this place is very allergy conscious.
Yes, it does seem that way.
They were very, allergy friendly and conscious of this. And also, they taught us something, or at least they taught me something, because I didn't know that, the egg yolk we've talked about the difference between ice cream and custard, but the fact that I love when people ride motorcycles past us when we're recording.
Well, at least this isn't the audiobook.
Yeah, I know. So, Philly style doesn't have egg yolks. French style does have egg yolks. And now I've learned something new.
So, Rita's is French style.
Apparently, because it's custard. It's a custard base is what it says.
Okay, and everything vegan is French style.
No.
I mean, not French, Philly.
I suppose. But I think...
But can you think of anything more specific than that?
What do you mean?
No, it seemed like you had a specific thought in mind. Never mind.
Okay. I'm all kinds of confused now. But moving on to their signature dishes. So this place has a lot of options in terms of flavor. Not a lot of variety in terms of how you can get those flavors, if that makes sense. But anywho. They have, of course, their homemade artisan ice cream. And because I was curious what the heck artisan even means, in terms of, I know what an artisan is, but in the context of ice cream, it's what does that mean? How is that different from regular homemade ice cream?
Well, the way I would interpret that is that they add, very, specific amounts of each flavor, and then they meticulously tested it over a long span of time to create something that they're very proud of.
I mean, that could be.
Like an artist. But go ahead.
I mean, just according to the definition, that it means that this ice cream was handcrafted by a skilled ice cream maker.
Okay, so
someone who's, experienced at making ice cream and has done it for many, many years.
Like Nicholas.
Perhaps even longer.
Ah.
But yes, like Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
And as we talked about, they have a variety of flavors to choose from, and we'll put the screenshot of the menu up, but these are just some of the things they have regularly that are the non-seasonal things. They have your chocolate, where they got strawberry buttermilk, good morning coffee, something called the Martinsville Mudslide, which I assume is chocolate-based, Cookie Monster, Muddy Nutty. I don't know what's in SpongeBob ice cream, and I'm afraid to ask.
I can only imagine it's lemon or something.
Maybe pineapple.
Or that would make sense.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Especially since that other place is doing Wendy's is doing that, SpongeBob collaboration with the pineapple frosty.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, right. You were talking about how you wanted to test that.
I wanted to test it, and then my mom told me it wasn't that good, and now I'm unsure if we should do it.
I mean, we could still go there and try it if we're in the area.
I guess. Alright, we'll think about that. But they have a ton of regular flavors to choose from, and as we talked about, they also have seasonal and vegan flavors. So, seasonal flavors, they change, obviously, with the season, and, periodically, but the ones that were there the day we went were matcha mint chip, pumpkin chai pie, crisp apple sorbet, coconut vanilla bean, double dark chocolate cookie, red raspberry hibiscus sorbet, and Turkish coffee. So, a variety of different things, and some that are, wait, did I mess that up?
What?
What did I say that was? Was that the list of seasonal or vegan?
It sounded like the vegan ones, because you said two of the ones that I ate.
I know, it was the vegan ones, but what did I say? Guys, my brain stopped working. Help me.
Are you asking what flavors?
No, I'm asking, did I say I'm reading the seasonal ones or I'm reading the vegan ones?
I think you read the vegan ones.
That's I know. I read the vegan ones, but before, we're going to have to just go back in the recording and see what I said. So, seasonal flavors.
Ugh.
Because I can't remember if I said, here are the seasonal flavors, or here are the vegan flavors. But whatever I said, those were the vegan flavors, and now here are the seasonal flavors. Oh my god. Embarrassing for me. Alright. Seasonal flavors that they had were cider donut, candy cauldron, which was like a black ice cream with candy in it, and it was a little scary looking. Cinnamon smoked bourbon, salted caramel apple blondie, pumpkin spice and everything nice, and Vermont maple walnut with peppercorn bacon.
Peppercorn bacon.
Yes.
All right. And they also have other things such as craft fountain sodas. What is a craft fountain soda?
So they make their own soda, apparently.
Oh, okay.
They have a house flavor, which it doesn't explain what it is. It just says seasonal house soda. They have a raspberry hibiscus soda.
That sounds good.
And a bourbon vanilla, which is what I would have tried if we were trying soda. But we were already so sugared up by this point.
We were like shaking all over the place.
There was no soda trying happening. We will have to go back someday and actually have go to the restaurant side of this.
Yeah, we really do.
And give that a try. But
they also have a variety of shakes. Do you have a list there of what type of shakes they have?
I guess you can just get whatever ice cream you want in a shake. Because it just says milkshake.
With soda and ice cream in it?
Well, that's a float. Soda and ice cream. A shake is just, you pick a flavor and they mix it with milk. Then you drink it.
It just sounds like a deconstructed melted ice cream, but okay. Float. What?
Do you not know what a shake is? A milkshake?
I mean, it's just like milk. It's like creamy milk like all mixed up, right?
With ice cream.
Okay, I didn't know that specifically that it was ice cream.
Time out.
I've lived a very sheltered life.
We've been doing an ice cream podcast for 14 weeks and you don't know that a milkshake has ice cream in it?
No, because it's called a milkshake. I assumed it just had milk in it.
I think you're messing with me.
I'm really not. Look into my eyes, I'm not kidding.
I don't know what to believe. Okay, yeah, so a milkshake is an ice cream beverage in which you pick an ice cream flavor and they blend it with milk and you drink it.
Okay. And now I know.
Yes, now you know.
All right.
Okay, and yeah, floats. Talk about floats.
All right.
You know what a float is, right?
Yeah, you just explained it. With the ice cream and the soda. Okay. So, yeah. So it hits ice cream with soda. But you're the one with the list. Does it say what kind of floats they have?
It doesn't.
Or is it it's
like
the same.
You pick whatever soda from their list of handcrafted sodas, and you pick an ice cream from the list of handcrafted ice creams, and then they give you a straw and send you on your way.
Okay. Yeah, I had a couple of those when I was a kid. Not very often. I remember very specifically going with my mom and my sister to, like, this bar, I guess, when I was a kid in Brooklyn. And it wasn't when we were living there. It was like we were visiting for whatever reason, and she got us root beer ice cream floats, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, root beer is the most common soda, I would say, to do with a float. And vanilla ice cream is the most common ice cream. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine but then again, I'm like looking and I'm just like, bourbon vanilla soda with their like cinnamon bourbon ice cream could be like a fun thing to do.
Yes.
But anywho, that's neither here nor there. We're not there anymore. So
and then let's move on. They also have soft serve, which is, of course, the vanilla, the chocolate, and the twist. Did they not have any other types of soft serve over there? Okay, so yeah, you can't tell because there's no video, but Holly shook her head. That's kind of crazy to me. But apparently this place is not big on soft ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to really go hard on the homemade flavors. And so I kind of get that, right? The soft serve is the back seat. It's not the star of this show.
Right.
So they only have the 3 most common flavors, and that's fine. That's not what we're here for, you know?
Yes. And then, along with the soft serve, they also have ice cream flights. Oh, and I love these. Mm-hmm. We've only ever seen them in one other place up in Buffalo, New York. But an ice cream flight is 4 flavors topped with mini waffle cone nachos, and they are perfect for sharing. So basically, how it is think of an egg carton, but like the little indentations, there's 4 of them, and they're pretty big, and each one of them fits 1 scoop of ice cream. So for this thing, you can choose 4 different types of ice cream, and they'll give you 1 of each inside each of those little slots, and then you just pay for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty great, especially if you're like you don't want a specific flavor and you just want to choose from a couple that you really like.
Or if you're at a place like Gabriel's Mountain that makes really unique and flavors you wouldn't see every day, and you want to try 4 of them. Or if you come with a friend and you each want to get 2, which is what we did.
Yes, it was very useful for our purposes.
Yes, for podcast purposes. Or if you host an ice cream podcast, it's a really great idea to get an ice cream flight. Because then you have a bunch of different options and you can kind of get
test them all.
Yeah, get a whole little taste testing thing going on. So we ordered the ice cream flight. Obviously, we'll include a photo of the flavors, and we took different angles and so all of that. But the flavors that are mine were the Vermont maple walnut and peppercorn bacon, which was the weird one that we were talking about earlier. Yeah. This is the one that... Don't make an sound.
Well, it's not like I could eat it.
Well, then don't go
Oh.
It wasn't It was the opposite of
Well, I'll take your word for it.
So I'm a sucker for maple walnut to begin with. Okay? I love maple walnut. I think it's a really good flavor. I'm not a big pumpkin spice person when fall comes around, but when maple flavored stuff comes out when fall comes around,
You're
I'm
all over
sign
that.
Me up, right? I keep buying the maple kettle corn from Lidl every time we go.
Yes.
So I love maple. And maple walnut ice cream is really, really a good flavor. And I saw that it had this bacon in it, and I'm like, that's interesting. Plus, as a side note, we had already had ice cream earlier in this day, and I felt like I needed something salty, so I'm like, you know what? Ice cream with bacon in it sounds like a perfect idea. So, I get this ice cream. And I gotta say, they definitely used, real ingredients for this. There were real walnuts chopped up in there. There were tiny pieces of bacon chopped up in there. Not like bacon bits, like you get in the container, but clearly different sizes, chopped with a knife, some guy in the back cooking bacon and chopping it and putting it in the ice cream. So
it just tasted like traditional bacon?
It was...
I was just curious.
It was just little... So you have the sweet maple, and you have the little tiny bits of bacon with that salty, peppery flavor. Mm-hmm. So it's when you have breakfast and you have pancakes and the syrup gets a little bit on your bacon or sausage, and you eat that and it's the sweet and savory together.
So it was breakfast ice cream?
You are making me sound crazy right now.
No, I'm not.
It was really good, everyone. It was really a delicious combination of sweet and salty. And it worked.
Well, I can only take your word for it, as I don't eat red meat.
I know.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on this podcast before, though.
I don't know, have you?
Why would I?
That's true. How often is there meat in the ice cream? Not often. This is the first time.
Took 14 episodes for us to reach this point.
It's true. But yeah, so it was really good. I would highly recommend it if you are a person who eats meat and likes maple. It was very, very good, and it was very creamy, the ice cream consistency was good, everything about it I would order it again for sure.
Should I do one, and then you do another, and then I do another?
Sure, let's go back and forth. You do your first flavor.
Okay, so my first flavor was the matcha mint chip. And anyone who knows me knows that I am a big fan of matcha. I'm a big fan of green tea. I like tea in general, but I especially like matcha tea. It was pretty good. The only thing about it was I did not really... I don't know. You said you could taste it, but I really couldn't taste too much of the actual matcha in it.
Yeah.
But I think that, the point of the matcha was also partially the color.
Yeah, you know how, we just read in their Q&As that they don't use artificial colors?
Yeah.
I think they use the matcha...
For the green.
In the mint ice cream to give it that green mint color that you associate with mint chocolate chip.
Oh, and oh boy, was it green. And so it did do a very good job.
It was. But I personally, I tasted a bit of this because we try to, unless there's an ingredient in it you can't have, we try to taste everything that we can. And it was minty for sure, but I tasted the matcha, but that's also because I'm not a big fan of matcha, I think, so I'm more sensitive to it.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely very minty, and I liked the consistency. It was very good mint ice cream. I just wish I could taste the matcha a little bit more.
Did they have a lot of chocolate chips in it?
I don't particularly remember.
Okay, interesting. I only ask because that's my least favorite part of mint ice cream is actually having the chips.
I don't remember there being a ton of chips.
Good.
But yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Okay. Would you order it again if we went there? Again?
Well, they had so many different flavors, I'd probably be inclined to try other things first.
Fair.
But the apple one that I wish I kind of tried, but we already had some from the place that we went to before this, so it just seemed unnecessary at this point.
Yeah, no, I get that. Okay. Are you done with your first flavor?
Yes. Go on to your second.
Okay, so my second flavor is one that they have apparently all the time. It's a regular one on their menu. It's called Muddy Nutty, which is a chocolate ice cream base with their homemade peanut butter cups in it, chopped up, and peanut butter swirled. Mm-hmm. So it's really just to be honest, it's a very high-class chocolate peanut butter, is what this was.
That's what it tasted like to me.
and it was. But it was good chocolate peanut butter. Mm-hmm. It's the chocolate peanut butter from my dreams. It was really, really good. It was very rich chocolate ice cream with a lot of... They weren't Reese's peanut butter cups because it was their homemade ones they make in-house, but with peanut butter cups chopped up and spread throughout. And it was really, really delicious. And this is one I would also order this again, especially if I was in a chocolate peanut butter mood.
And if it was even remotely nearby.
Right, and if we were there. If this place was nearby and I was in a chocolate peanut butter mood, that's where I would go.
Not Cold Stone or
not
something. Not
Cold Stone, not Carvel. Carvel is usually where I go for my chocolate peanut butter fix.
Oh, all right.
I would go to this before that.
Right, Cold Stone was such a black chocolate.
Yes, the dark chocolate. But, I don't know if you noticed, on their vegan menu, they had double dark chocolate cookie.
That's pretty crazy.
Which I would have tried if we were sitting there for, however long, trying 18 flavors of ice cream.
Maybe we should have done 2... Well, if we weren't so bloated with chocolate.
Yeah, we could have gotten 2 flights.
Yeah.
But we were dying.
Yeah, if we weren't so bloated with ice cream and... I don't know, what else did we have? Mac and cheese?
It was the mac and cheese, I think, that did us in.
Yeah, the mac and cheese. Yeah, I would have definitely said that we should just get 2 floats.
Flights, right. Floats are drinks.
Yes, okay.
But honestly, I would have liked to try a float because they make their own soda there.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good.
We have to probably go back someday.
I don't drink soda, but I would have gone out of my way to try that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And then... You're done with your second
flavor?
Yes,
really high quality chocolate peanut butter. Would definitely order it again.
All right. My next one was the red raspberry hibiscus sorbet. And the reason I went with my 2 particular flavors was because, like we mentioned a couple of times now, we were stuffed to the brim going into this place. So I was looking for something a little bit lighter than normal ice cream, which is why I went with the matcha mint chip. And the red raspberry sorbet, it being a sorbet, meaning that it was like at least partially ice. So I figured I'd just go with that. And it was pretty good. I think I liked it more than the matcha.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it was very perfumey, and I think that was like your biggest critique about it. But I enjoyed the flavor. I thought it was really good. And I don't usually go to a lot of places that have red raspberry anything.
That's true. The only other place was Magnifico's, and we all know how that turned out.
Right. But I really like red. I like red raspberry when I run into it. So I went with that because it sounded pretty good. And then hibiscus makes it sound all like tropical and florally and fancy.
I think the issue with me was the hibiscus flavor.
Yeah,
it was floral flavor.
It was pretty strong.
It was very strong. But you know what? That doesn't make sense because I like the lavender stuff, and a lot of people think that tastes like perfume.
I don't know. Maybe it was just like this. I mean, lavender and hibiscus are two different types of plants.
That's true.
Maybe you just don't like hibiscus flavors. Do
that
you remember having any up until this point?
In life?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe in something, but you didn't know what it was?
Probably.
I enjoyed it, though.
I don't know. It wasn't for me, but if you enjoyed it, that's what matters.
Yeah, I mean, it was predominantly my choice, so yes, that was good. I felt like very much so with this particular place that we went to, we were very much fond of our own flavors and not as fond about each other's flavors.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yes, we chose some very specific flavors that worked for us, and one of yours I couldn't even have anyway. So.
Yes, you couldn't even. We had to scrape off part of your piece that like mine touched.
The red hibiscus so that was touched by the bacon.
Yeah, so that you wouldn't get like bacon poisoning or something.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen.
No, it
but I don't have that sensitive of a stomach. But
no, I know
it would be I appreciate it. Yes,
especially after the Wendy's chili incident.
Yes, Yes, I had COVID. I couldn't taste or smell anything, and I started eating actual beef chili, and I didn't even realize what it was until you came to me. You came over, and you were like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, I literally couldn't taste anything.
I thought it was after your COVID shot, and you were so out of it.
It was either the COVID shot or it was COVID. Either way, I was so out of it I couldn't taste anything.
You were really, really out of it. I don't think I would have gone over if you had COVID. I think it was the shot.
Yeah, I was messed up.
But either way, it was crazy. So he ate that and he was okay. So I guess like bacon poisoning probably would not have happened.
Yes, I seem to be able to still process the meats. I just choose not to eat them.
That's fair. Alrighty. Do we want to talk about the atmosphere a little bit? Because we talked a little bit about it, but I think that's because we've talked about the consistency of the ice cream and the flavors obviously are good.
And we talked a little bit about the atmosphere, but we can go a little bit more into it.
Yeah.
The store is on the side of the road. It has like a plethora of like parking space in the back. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, like past the parking lot, there was, of course, the old rusted-up truck that I pointed out that you don't remember.
I don't remember. I wish we had a photo of it.
Yes. And then there was, like, a walkway into it. Like, I'm pretty sure you can go through the back of the building, like, if we climbed the stairs, but we didn't know that was an option. But we took the right side. We went in through the front door. They had, like, a really nice line. Mm-hmm. They had a really nice line with like ropes. Didn't they have it like roped off or something?
Yeah, it was like when you're in line at, for lack of a better description, Disney World, and you gotta get inside the ropes. It was like that, but smaller.
And then the front of the walk area for the line had like the little container with the menus that were printed out.
Yep.
And it was really pretty. And then to the left of that was the actual restaurant. and it looked like they had maybe 20 seats, 16, 20 seats.
Well, it also said there was an upstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's a whole second floor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
With
Well, I didn't notice that.
With seating and stuff.
Okay.
For the restaurant.
Well, downstairs they had, I thought I saw like anywhere between 16 to 20 seats.
Mm-hmm. This building was so cute.
It was a really nice building.
Like it looked like a little house. Well, not little, but, you know, it looked very...
It looks like it was...
more like a home.
A home that they renovated into an ice cream parlor.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the right side, after you walk in, they had all the ice cream. It was like your typical ice cream, store. They had like the different tubs on the left and the right side, and then the register in the middle, and then the menu on the top. And you just choose what you wanted. That's all pretty typical. But if you keep walking past both those areas, you reach the sunroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the sunroom was really, really cute. It had, like 4 tables, if I remember correctly.
4 or 6, something along that. It was not a lot of tables. It was a small room.
Some of them were pushed together, I think, because of that one group that was, like, pretty large.
Oh, yeah, they were fun.
Yeah, they were so fun.
They were horrible. These kids were just the worst, and these moms took them to get ice cream. And I swear, if I was one of these moms, I would have thrown their ice cream in the trash. They were so bad the entire time.
Yeah. But yeah, besides those pain-in-the-butt kids in the sunroom, it was really cute. We chose the spot next to the door, and we just, we ate our ice cream. It was still cool inside the room, even though it was a sunroom, so their AC was working pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also, like, a ton of people outside.
Yeah, they had
I didn't even expect there to be that many people outside.
They had a beautiful outdoor dining area. They had, like a porch kind of balcony thing.
Now that I'm thinking about it, did they have, like, those people that were outside, were they eating ice cream or...
They were eating food.
They were eating food.
It was part of the restaurant.
That's what I thought, because
yeah.
I was like, when I walked in, I was like, I guess the restaurant thing isn't really that a happening, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, that would make sense now, all those people being outside.
Yep, they were outside. They had, at one point I looked over and somebody had like a sandwich that looked really good, but obviously, again, we were so full from other things previously in the day.
We would die.
That there was no way. There was no way to eat food at this place. There was barely enough room for us to eat ice cream.
Yes. And not at all because the food looked inedible.
No, it looked really good, actually.
It's just we were stuffed.
Indeed. So, really nice atmosphere. The location's pretty. It's far from us, so it's like not likely we'll be back anytime soon.
But we do want to return for an actual meal.
Yes. Yes, we do. Someday. Perhaps.
I'm sure we'll be in the area for some reason. Like next year, when I don't know when your school is going to do another thing like that.
Oh, but possibly. They try to do one every fall.
Oh, so maybe next year we'll go back there.
Perhaps.
But maybe we'll leave the ice cream at the place, and then we'll just have ice cream at Gabriel's.
Yep. So, and the cost. Like, even though the town itself looked expensive, the ice cream flight deal was really, like,
affordable.
A good deal. It's 4 giant scoops of ice cream for...
$11, was it?
15.
Oh, okay.
4, mini waffle cone chip pieces that go in the ice cream. And, it was only $15. It's not bad. But they get you if you pay with a card. They do the automatic, like, how much do you want to leave for a tip question? And because I'm a sucker, I always click something.
Because you don't want to be
because I don't want to be rude.
Yes.
So they got me for like a couple extra bucks on the tip. But if you pay with cash, or if you aren't a sucker like me, you can just do $15 and be on your way.
Yeah, we need to look into this stuff ahead of time so I can just pull out my cash.
Yeah. So, or you could just, leave a tip, because people work hard.
I mean, I guess if you want to be a good person.
Yeah, I know, it's a whole thing.
Uh-huh.
But now, the time you've been waiting for, Where are we going to put this place on the list?
We discussed it a little bit already. And we were having, like, difficulty determining, weren't we?
I think so, because...
Pull up the list
from last time. If I can find it.
Yeah, because this place is, like, has some seriously great quality ice cream. And the location is lovely. And their selling model is really good. And we enjoyed the atmosphere. We enjoyed the product. So it was kind of hard for us to, like... We were going back and forth about it for a while, is basically what we're getting at. If I remember correctly, we compared it very heavily to Nicholas Creamery, right?
It's very similar in terms of the vibe, I think.
Yes, because they're both like places that pride themselves on their artisan ice cream.
But it's also like, in a weird way, I'm going to say, it's also kind of similar to Friendly's.
It is.
Because you have the ice cream restaurant combo thing happening, and you've got that family vibe.
Right.
As well, so I don't know. But for those of you who aren't looking at your screen and just have the audio, please note that we have in the S tier Frozen Flavors, Ryan's Homemade Ice Cream, Friendly's, and Strollo's Lighthouse. In the A tier, we have Nicholas Creamery, Carvel, Ralph's, and Frozen Yo Cafe. In the B tier, we have Rita's, Baskin Robbins, and Cold Stone.
But it's definitely not going that low. Go ahead.
In C, we have nothing, and in D, we have Dairy Queen and Magnificos.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, we were going back and forth between whether or not it should be on the S or the A tier, right?
I think so. But now that I've, had some more time to process this, I think I know where I want it.
All right. So you start with you, because I'm still on the fence here a little bit.
Okay. So, based on my chocolate peanut butter experience.
Right.
I thought this chocolate peanut butter was probably the best chocolate peanut butter I've had. Ever.
Okay.
And usually, like I said, my chocolate peanut butter fix, the place I go for that most of the time, is Carvel. So it has to be above Carvel.
That's what I was very thinking the same thing.
However.
Okay.
I also think that the quality of the ice cream here was just a smidge better than Nicholas Creamery.
You think so?
I do. So I would personally put Gabriel's at the front of A. That's where I would put it. But
the other thing
there
they
are
have
two
on
people on this podcast, so
the other thing they have on Nicholas, we're judging for ice cream though, is the fact that they actually sell real food.
True.
The atmosphere is also really nice. I do like Nicholas Creamery, but I did like the aesthetic a little bit more from Gabriel's. Yes. Like I'm balancing this really hard in my head. I'm trying to base it off of the ice cream primarily, and then leave other things like the aesthetic of the place, and then the selling model and everything else like that, like as a tiebreaker sort of thing. If I was to talk about the actual ice cream itself, I would say that this place is comparable to Nicholas.
I would too. It's almost at the same. It's definitely at the same level.
Yes.
I just feel like, for me, Nicholas has a few heavy hitters, but they don't have them all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the Nicholas has the honey lavender in the spring. They have the apple cider thing going now in the fall. That
was so good.
They have the corn ice cream in the summer, right? They have heavy hitters. But their regular menu, their everyday menu, doesn't have anything on it that I'm particularly excited about.
That's true. That's a good point.
This muddy, nutty flavor that I am excited about is on Gabriel's everyday menu.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm headed.
Do you remember if the red raspberry hibiscus was an everyday thing?
I don't know. Because it just says, hold on.
You still have the tab open?
I do.
Oh.
I'm going to just refresh it to make sure. It's still there.
it's still there. So maybe it is a... Yeah, they seem to have, like, a pretty good, like, not a arrangement. I don't think arrangement is the right term, but they have a pretty good... they have a pretty good array selection of all year-round ice cream. And this place is open all year round, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a big shtick in their history explanation about how the ice cream places they always liked kept closing for the season, so they wanted to keep theirs open all the time.
Was that in, like, the unhinged description
or
the
that
real
was in
description?
The real description.
Okay.
The unhinged description was hysterical to me.
I would agree with you, honey. I think that this place is, like, maybe slightly ahead of Nicholas.
So are we saying front of the A tier?
I would say front of the A tier. And as I think that the thing that brought it over, like, because the ice cream is pretty much the same. But it does have more heavy-hitting, consistent flavors, like you said. And I do like the aesthetic more from Gabriel's Fountain. So
we agree it could go at the front of A.
Right.
But
Oh, you're thinking more now?
I'm thinking more now.
All right.
Because Strollo's is a great Italian ice place.
Right.
But I feel like Gabriel's has more than them.
Yeah, but also I feel like Strollo's has consistency. Like, it has less selections, but they're all super high quality. Like, I would go to Strollo's over Gabriel's only because I feel like I would get overwhelmed by the different flavors in Gabriel's, and I know that all of the Italian ices are going to be, like, super good from Strollo's. That's just the way that I'm looking at it. I would be resistant to, like, putting this ahead of Strollo's. That's me personally. I think... I kind of want to go to Strollo's later. Do you want to go to Strollo's later?
Maybe.
All right, because I was thinking about Strollo's the other day, and I was just really wanting it. But yeah, I could go for some Strollo's later, is what I'm saying.
Strollo's is a seasonal place, though. It might be closed.
Dang. Okay, we're gonna have to look into that.
All right. Okay, so then I guess final, at least for now, until we do the episode or the tier list shake-up at the end of the season.
Still need to figure out when that's going to be, though.
Well, a year of ice cream.
Dang, okay.
Unless we want to do a mid-year shake-up after, like, 26 episodes.
Oh, when someone says season, I think a fourth of a year. Like television. But, okay. We'll talk about that later.
We'll deal with that on the additional marketing podcast that we're going to start.
What?
Just kidding. We're not doing that.
I was about to say, we have enough stuff to do, and I'm tired of editing.
Okay. Well, then, good thing you're going to have to edit this.
I just need to finish the audiobook, and then I can rest easy for a while.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to place Gabriel's Fountain at the top of the A tier, above Nicholas Creamery, and that is what we're going to do.
I never knew there were so many places, like, better than Carvel. Like... When I was younger, the only ice cream places I went to was like 80% of the time Rita's, and then 20% if we wanted ice cream during the winter for some weird reason from Carvel.
Yeah, pretty much. It's crazy. I knew that there were good ice cream places. I did not know how many, and I did not know, like... And
how many different types of ice cream there are.
It's ridiculous. It's starting to get out of control.
I really do think that we need to, like, reformat the way that we set up our tier lists. Like I was talking to you in the car on the way to Gabriel's.
It's gonna be too many tier lists.
It would be more accurate, though, but...
Well, maybe. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there later.
Alright, but thank you again, as per usual, for listening to Scoop Podcast. This has been episode 14, Gabriel's Fountain. We really enjoyed it, and we hope that if you're ever in the Martinsville area, you can give it a whirl as well. If you haven't already done so, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, subscribe to our channel, tell a friend, tell your coworkers, tell your grandmother if she has the internet, tell your dog if he can work a computer.
Right.
All of the above. But tell people, so you always know where to go for your Frozen favorites. And tune in next week for a review of a science project that turned into a common amusement park snack.
What the hell are you... Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you for watching, or listening, or both, hopefully. Hopefully both, because I do work pretty hard to edit these videos, and if I didn't add visuals, this would literally be 10 clicks and done kind of stuff.
Not that was passive-aggressive at all or anything.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Tune in next week for episode 15, and thank you, as always, for watching.
Bye.
Bye.